Welcome to Mama Pop Quilt Shop. I'm Laura Lynn. We are working on Long Arm Wednesday today. It's a customer's quilt, and all my customers have the little check mark that we're okay to videotape their quilts if they want. They don't have to. It's no big deal. And this one shows we could. So this is my first piece, really extensively pieced backing here, as well as a very pieced front. So one, of course, has to be bigger than the other. That's the way it works. So I had to really kind of twiddle it and tweak it to make sure it fit perfectly, and cross your fingers that we did a good job. So I picked a very complementary pattern for the front and the back. And what I've done so far is 4 rows. I'm really exactly at the halfway mark of this whole quilt. And I just thought I would like to show you how registration marks work when you're going edge to edge and row to row, okay? Because you don't want to, because there's going to be shifting and moving in your quilt, it's not going to be registered of that in the software. So you have to tweak and twiddle that to make it fit. So I'm going to go over to this end because it has stitching its row completely. And I have done my little single stitch there and locked it. And now it says click OK to move to the right registration point. So what this point is, it's a little mark that you're going to make most likely on the outside of your quilt, on your quilt top, like on your batting, or possibly even on your backing, depending how far you're going to stretch the pattern. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to move down to that spot right there. It says click OK to move to the left registration point. Well, I have to make sure I want to mark the right one first. So I just take a little bit of my disappearing ink. It lasts quite a while, so I'm not too worried about it. Hit OK. It's going to move all the way over to the other side. I just want to make sure I'm moving my tray out of the way because I don't want it to hit, because it's going to come past here. I did take the grips off first just before this started. They were on, okay? It's going to move all the way over here. Okay, so I'm going to mark that one right there. Okay, so after you do your little marks, you hit the OK button, and then you're going to roll it, okay, all the way back over here. So you unlock your bottom, you gently crank your top. Actually, I just want to make sure this is actually completely off the quilt here. Okay, I don't want anything hooking up, just in case. Okay, there we go. And I want to crank it so it's pretty much right up here so I can start my registration points. I know, sorry, now I put the long arm in the way. Okay. Okay, come right to the top where I can click it. Okay, lock that there. Do a little maneuvering. The joys. Okay, get that all flat. Okay, and you want to make sure you got to do your base stitch down the side. Okay, so put your clamps on first, do a little base stitch because you want those sides to hold in, and because this pattern is continuously crossing over the edges, I don't want it to actually I think we're going to re-roll that. It seems a little bulky there, just to be on the safe side. It doesn't take much more than just a few moments to re-roll. Well, we'll give it a go. So, okay. There. So let this one go. Roll this one. Just a little bit tighter. Keep constant pressure on it. Don't let it bubble. Okay, that should be a bit better. Clamp back on. Okay. You got to move your fabric. This the batting's also been pieced together as well, so it's had its few little challenges. But that's what life is all about. Okay. Just trying to flip it, like fluff it, not really flip it. Sorry, kind of fluff it to make sure it's fitting. Okay. And my registration mark up here for the left is right here, right down here, and the other one's at the very top on the other side. Okay. So let's clamp these back in. Now that that side looks much, much better. Now your clamps are just holding. They're not tugging, they're not pulling, they're not doing anything too exciting. They're just helping stabilize your fabric as it's bouncing across the table, or your machine's bouncing across. Okay, So back over to my base stitches here, okay, at the very top. I think I have them set to a 1/2 inch. Okay. No, there we go. Lock and start. And then just work your way. Sometimes you're going to have little folds and puckers. That's the way it goes. Just work your way down. Okay. Okay. Oops. Okay, next side. All the way down. Okay, based, and then we're just going to click those registration marks, and it's going to stitch again. But we need to make sure we're doing a little confirmation that it's not going to go too crazy or anything. Okay, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. Because fabric shifts. It's just the way it happens. All right. I'm just trying to get it right on the edge. Make sure I'm trying to get it over so it's nice and even. Okay. Lucky stitches in there. Okay. So when I hit, go back over to the screen here for a second so I can get this out of the way. Oh, hold on. I hit something here. I want to exit, but I don't know how to exit. Oh, there we go. Okay. I was trying to change some screen settings and I didn't want it to. Okay, so now I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to go quilt. And it should say, actually no, it's continue, I believe. Yes, click left registration mark. So that's all the way over here. And it's that little marker mark that I put down, and I'm going to put my laser light right over it and hit OK. Now I'm going to go all the way to the right and do the same with the other little mark that I made. Put the laser light right over top of it, or the center of my needle head, right over top, and hit OK. So now it has chunked up, as you would have saw on your little tiny screen there. It's chunked up, it's moved up, saying, OK, we're ready for row 5 and 6. Let's rock this, OK? But I don't want it to just sew. I want to make sure that it's not too close to this upper point. It's not too far away from that upper point. I need to make sure it's bang on. I don't want any sort of discrepancy in this quilt that can be seen from a distance or even close up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of the points at the very end, 2 in the middle, and 1 at this end, and I'm going to measure via the screen and my eye that it's going to sit okay. You're like, why are you doing so much work, Laurelyn? Because it's what needs to be done to make sure it's done right. And I'm going in real close. Okay, and I'm going to take my ruler. And of course, you have the crosshairs of your head, the head of your long arm, right? So, did I pick this one? Oh, okay, here it is. Trying to find out which one it was. So I'm going to put it as where the tip of that curve is going to be. Okay, it's going to come back. And on that curve, it's going to go whoop this way and come back around and do the swirl. So right at the very tip is where I want to be. So I take my ruler and I go right from the bottom of this stitch line. I'll go up so you can see it on the little camera here, on the little software. Take that line right there and measure down to this line and make sure it's pretty consistent through all the way across. 1/8 of an inch, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Don't stress about it. Anything more than that, tweak and twitter. Okay, so that looks like where I want it, about 1/2 an inch. So I'm going to move over to another one right about here and do the same thing. I'm going to shrink out my software, move it to the left, scan right back in. I mean, use it to your advantage. That's what it's there for. Take an extra few more minutes to make sure it's going to set up right. Now I'm going to measure. That looks like it's about 3/4. So that should be okay. Let's do another one right here, and then we'll do that end one in the black. Okay. And yes, I was doing this for every single roll. I don't want to mess up. I want my customers to be extremely happy with the effort that I put into making their quilts beautiful. All right, now come up over onto the tip of that curve with the crosshairs from the long arm, because you know that's where your needle is, and you come right up there. Okay, so that's about another 3/4. Okay, and this one right here, this will be the last one. Let me go so you can see the whole picture there. And I'll scoot in on this side. Just gotta roll the mouse. Okay, there we go. We're almost there to check the last one. Okay. I know you're like, oh, this is tedious stuff, but it really needs to be done. It really is. Okay, right about there-ish. And that's about a half. Okay, so it looks like a half and a little bit is between a half and 3/4 in the middle, so it should be okay. All right, this is stretched, this is out, this is all good. We're ready to rock and roll. Hit the quilt button. There, thread up. It's going to do some locking stitches, and away it goes. I just want to make sure there's not going to be any wrinkle in there. I'm just maneuvering the fabric. What's up? Abort while sewing, abort due to obstacle and XY axis. Is there an obstacle? I'm confused. Is there an obstacle? That's weird. Alrighty, well let's do a single stitch and figure what's going on here. Alrighty. Joys. Troubleshooting on the fly here. I'm like, was it trying to come up and it just couldn't reach it? No, because that's all the way, that fits all the way up there, so that's not the problem. Was it maybe a thread caught? Trying to look and find out here. Oh, well, all I can do is just set it to restart and away we go. Okay. Quilt. Okay, I don't want it to start there, so stop. I want to. No. Whoa, caution, needle up, command timed out, needle might be down. Cancel. You sure you want to stop? Yes, because now I'm really confused. Okay, restart. Nope. Pick new point. All the way back here. Okay, let's do this right here. Use. Talk about fighting with your long arm today. This will be an interesting take because we're not stopping and cutting here. You're seeing it how it works sometimes. It's always not rosy rosies. I don't know what it was thinking it was stuck on an axis. I'm very confused by that, but we got it going on now. So no worries. Just didn't want any fold. There we go. It was weird because it had lots of room to clean up too, or to clear up too. So. So that is pretty much Long Arm Wednesday. It's going to take another 10 minutes to stitch this all the way down. So now you know why we do it, and we fix things. And like I said, we didn't stop or start. You saw exactly how we figured it out, tried to tweak it to make it work, and we got it going. For some reason, it was trying to skip to the other pattern. It wasn't like even trying to stitch the first one. So anyway, we got it. We fixed it. So thanks everybody for watching. We really, really appreciate your likes and subscribes here at the Mom Pop Quilt Shop. If you want to see anything else, please let us know. Anything to do with the long arm, the software, like the sewing machines, whatever. Questions, we're here for answers. I'd like to send a little special shout out to my special visitor from Texas that came up a couple of weeks ago. Her name was Angie, and I made this beautiful baggie in the background. She sent me some oranges, brought me some oranges and some yellows, and I just love it, absolutely love it. She's such a sweet lady. So thank you very much for visiting. Anybody else who wants to come and visit the quilt shop, just let me know. I got tea. There's a cafe not far if you want coffee. So thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.